Hello, hello. Today, our today's lecture is based over the discrete time signal. We are going to learn how to generate the discrete time signal, how to represent the discrete time signal, and the standard test signal study. Now, what is discrete signal? Now, generally, whenever we talk about the discrete signal is a function of independent variable. These independent variables are divided into equal number of interval. Okay, whatever number of interval is represented by its integer value. Now, from this discrete signal, we can able to define what is discrete time signal. The discrete time signal is a sequence that is function defined on the positive and negative integer. So over the coordinate system on x-axis n is represented and on y-axis x of n is represented. So that's why the value of n may be positive or negative, and similarly the discrete time signal which is represented by x of n, it has positive integer as well as negative integer. Now, a discrete time signal whose value are from a finite set is called digital signal. When the independent variable is time, then discrete signal is called discrete time signal. The discrete time signal are defined only at discrete interval of time. So for this signal, the independent variable takes on only a discrete set of values. Now, to clarify all these things, okay, here remember the definition of discrete time signal is the discrete time signal are defined only at discrete interval of time. Now, how we say it is defined only at discrete interval of time, we will go through it one by one. Now, here the question arises, how I will get the discrete time signal? The discrete time signal are obtained with the help of continuous time signal. Last lecture was based over the how you can convert the continuous time signal into the discrete time signal with the help of sampling method. This sampling method will permit you to obtain the discrete time signal. Now, once you generated the discrete time signal, now here how what are the different methods for generation of this discrete time signal. Okay, now here method 1 and method 2 are independent method, okay, of any time frame, but the third one method is totally dependent on time. Now the first point you can see here, generate a set of number and arrange them in a sequence. So here the discrete time signal is represented by x of n is equal to 2n. Here n is varying between 0 to capital N. So whenever we put the value of n is equal to 0, you will get x of n is equal to 0. When n is equal to 1, then you will get 2 into 1 is nothing but 2. When n is equal to 2, then you will get x of n is equal to 4. So we will get a sequence 0, 2, 4, 6 up to dash 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 2n. So these numbers forms a sequence of even number, and it is expressed by a expression x of n is equal to 2n. Hope you got the meaning of how to generate the set of number with the help of a sequence. Okay, with the help of a expression. Now, second one method here, evaluation of a number recursion related will generate a discrete time signal. Now here expression x of n is equal to 0.2 raised to n is defined. Okay, from this expression you can able to find out the value of sequence. Now here the expression x of n is equal to 0.2 raised to n. Here n is represented as 0 to infinity. Now here, if you have to find out the sequence element, we will put the value of n from 0 to up to infinity. But here we will consider finite values. For example, when n is equal to 0, here x of n is equal to 0.2 raised to 0. Okay, so when 0.2 raised to 0, its value is 1. When n is equal to 1, x of 1 is equal to 0.2 raised to 1. Okay, when n is equal to 2, its value is 0.2 raised to 2. When n is equal to 3, its value is 0.2 raised to 3. Okay, and so on we will get the sequence. Okay, so here you will get the sequence from of x of n. Third method is by uniform sampling a continuous time signal and using the amplitude of samples to form a sequence. So let x of t is a continuous time signal. Now when we represent it in discrete time signal, we will write as a x of n or x of n into t. Okay, so x of n into t is equal to x of t, where value of t is n into t. Means we will say x of n is equal to x of t. Here the value of n will be varying between minus infinity to infinity. Okay, now this is about the generation of discrete time signal. So generally the first two methods are most prominently adopted for generation of discrete time signal. Now the discrete sequence will be obtained by very simpler way. Now here we will go for representation of discrete time signal. Now in general, signal may be continuous time signal or discrete time signal. Continuous time signal are defined for all instants of time, whereas discrete time signal are defined only at discrete instant of time. Continuous time signal are represented by x of t and discrete time signal are represented by x of n, where t and n are independent variables in time domain. So, in terms of continuous time signal, the signal are represented by a function or a graph. Now, here when we are going for representing the discrete time signal, there are four ways. First one is graphical representation, second is functional representation, third is tabular representation, and fourth one is sequence representation. Now, we go for first way, how you can represent the discrete time signal. Now we consider the graphical representation. In this graphical representation, we are assuming the value of x of n. So for example, here x of minus 2 is minus 3, x of minus 1 is 2, x of 0 is 0, x of 1 is 3, x of 2 is 1, and x of 3 is 2. Now when we have to draw, when we have to show these points over the graph, so we will show in the following manner. Now here the in over the coordinate system, n is written on x-axis and x of n is written on y-axis. Now we mark this point over the coordinate system. So when x of 0 is equal to 0, that is a origin point. So x of 0 is marked at 0 and its value is 0. At point 1, that is x of 1 is equal to 3 and it is represented by a value 3. X of 2 is 1, means at point 2 its value is 1. At point 3, x of 3 is equal to 2. Similarly, x of minus 1 means at minus 1 its value is 2, and at -2, its value is -3, that is x of -2 is -3. Now you can understand the graphical representation in this way. So whenever you have any discrete time signal, and if you are going to adopt any graphical representation for solving most of the cases in terms of linear convolution as well as in circular convolution, the graphical representation will be necessary. So in that cases, you can draw the discrete time signal with the help of this method. Now, second one is a functional representation. In this representation, we will specify the value of x of n for n. So here in this, the amplitude of signal is written against the value of n. Here from the figure, it can be represented using the functional representation. So here x of n is written, x of n is equal to, here the first value is written as a -3. Okay, when -3 will be present? -3 will be present when n is equal to -2. Similarly, x of n is equal to 2. So x of n is equal to 2 will be present for n is equal to -1. In the same way, x of n will be 0 for n is equal to 0. Similarly, x of n will be 3 for n is equal to 1. X of n will be 1 for n is equal to 2. X of n will be 2 for n is equal to 3. Okay, so this is a way of functional representation. Now in terms of functional representation, we will write only the value of x of n in this manner. Generally, this way is used for only understanding point of view. Okay, now in another cases, we will write the expression. The expression will be written at as a another example. So here x of n is equal to 2 raised to n. 2 raised to n means the value of n is represented as n is greater than or equal to 0, and x of n is equal to 0 for n is less than 0. So this is one of the way of representation of discrete time signal using functional representation. Now, hope you got the functional representation. In the same way, here the third one is tabular representation. Now, tabular representation means we are putting all the values in a table form. Okay, in this, the sampling instant n and magnitude of the signal at the sampling instants are represented in tabular form. The signal given in the last figure can be represented in tabular form is as follows. Here, two rows are represented, n and x of n, and here the value of n is varying from -2 to 3, and each value of n, here x of n value is written. Means when n is equal to -2, its value, that is x of n, will be -3. When n is equal to -1, that is its value is x of n is equal to 2. Similarly, when n is equal to 0, that is its value x of n is equal to 0. When n is equal to 1, x of n is equal to 3. When n is equal to 2, x of n is equal to 1. And n is equal to 3, x of n is equal to 2. Now, third one way is sequence representation. Now, mostly whenever we do any operation or any problem solving with the discrete time sequences, then generally the sequence representation is most commonly preferred. So, sequence representation you can understand by this way. Here, example is given. The last graphical example is considered. Okay, a finite duration sequence is given like this: x of n is equal to -3, 2, comma 0, comma 3, comma 1, comma 2. Okay, it is written in a curly braces, a opening curly brace and a closed curly brace, and a arrow mark is given. That arrow mark is drawn below 0. It indicates that the signal is starting. So here at 0, the signal is starting, means its value is x of 0. The next further number is 3. So its value is x of 1. The next number is 1. Its value is x of 1, and so on. Similarly, the last number, that is 2, that is its value is x of minus 1, and the number x of number minus 3 is represented as x of minus 2. Okay. Similarly, here another example is given is x of n is equal to curly brace dash dash dot 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 2 comma 3 comma 0 comma 1 comma minus 2 dot dot dot, and again here 0 is represented by a arrow mark. Okay. Now generally the arrow mark is used for denoting where n is equal to 0. Okay. In case, most of the cases, when no arrow is indicated, then the first term correspond to n is equal to 0 is considerable. Okay. So as example, here in the next line, here it is given x of n is equal to 3 comma 5 comma 2 comma 1 comma 4 comma 7. So from this sequence, here arrow mark is not written. So here 3 is considered as a n is equal to 0 term. Okay, means we will say it is a beginning term. Now, whenever you are going to represent the discrete time sequence in finite as well as infinite duration, then the following examples are given for your understanding. So here, first two examples are related to the infinite duration, and the last two examples are given for finite duration. So we understand one by one. Now we consider the first one. Okay, an infinite duration discrete time sequence is given. Okay, here it is written like this: x of n is equal to curly brace dot 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 minus 0.5 comma 1 comma minus 1 comma 0.6 comma 1.2 comma 1.5 comma dot dot dot. Now here arrow mark is given. So arrow mark indicate a center point, and this sequence is represented in right hand side as well as in left hand side. Okay, so that's why this sequence is of infinite duration, because here dot 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 is represented in left and right hand side. So that's why this sequence will be never ending. Okay, so that's why here it is marked as an infinite duration discrete time signal. Now another example is also shown here. Here in this example, an infinite duration discrete time signal that satisfy the condition. Okay, x of n is equal to 0 for n is less than 0. Now here the sequence you can read in this fashion: x of n is equal to curly brace minus 1.0 comma 0.6 comma 1.2 comma 1.5 comma dot dot dot. Again we consider this is an infinite duration sequence, and the arrow mark is written at minus 1.0. It says here the sequence is starting and the sequence is present in right hand side. Okay, similarly here the finite duration sequences are also given. Okay, so finite duration examples are given like this: a finite duration discrete time signal with the time origin n is equal to 0. It is indicated by a symbol. Arrow mark is represented as x of n is equal to minus 0.5 comma 1.0 comma minus 1.0 comma 0.6 comma 1.2 comma 1.5. Arrow mark is written below over minus 1.0. Okay, So here this is a finite sequence because here dot 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 is not represented in right and left hand side. So that's why this sequence will end and will start at C minus zero point 0.5, 1.0, minus 1.0, zero point 0.6, 1.2 and 1.0. So here you can see 1 is represented at n is equal to 0. 1.0 is represented at n is equal to minus 1. Minus zero point 0.5 is represented at n is equal to minus 2. Similarly, zero point 0.6 is represented at n is equal to 1. 1.2 is represented at n is equal to 2, and 1.5 is represented at n is equal to 3. Okay, so here this is a example of finite duration discrete time signal. Now another example is also given below. Okay, in that example x of n is equal to minus 1.0 comma zero point 0.6 comma 1.2 comma 1.5. Okay, you can read minus zero point 0.6 as a zero point 0.6. Okay, so here arrowhead is given over a minus 1.0. So minus 1.0 is the origin point and this sequence is a right hand side sequence. Okay, so here this is a way of sequence representation. Now we go for the next one point. Now the next point is related to the elementary signal. Now generally here it is also called as a standard test signal. Standard test signal are called because these signal are used for testing a system which will be designed by you. So here different kind of signals are given under this category. Okay, there are several elementary signal which play a vital role in the study of signal and system. These elementary signal serves as basic building block for the construction of more complex signal. In fact, these elementary signal may be used to model a large number of physical signal which occurs in nature. These elementary signal are also called as standard test signal. So here 7 examples are given for standard test signal are: first one is unit step signal, second is unit ramp signal, third is unit parabolic signal, fourth one is unit impulse signal, fifth one is sinusoidal signal, sixth one is real exponent signal, and seventh is complex exponential signal. Now we will go how you can represent this signal, what are its mathematical expression, how you can describe these signals in discrete time representation. Okay, we go through it one by one. Now this study is important in our further units because these signals are necessary whenever we go for solving any problem or whenever we go for designing of any discrete time systems. Okay, so for analysis of point of view, these standard test signals are necessary. So go through it thoroughly and keep it in mind all these points so you can able to use these fundamentals in your further study. Now here we will go each and every signal one by one. Now first signal is unit impulse signal. You can say it as a unit sample sequence or unit impulse sequence. Now you can define this unit impulse signal as a discrete time unit impulse function is denoted by del of n. Its amplitude is 1 at n is equal to 0, and for all other values of n its amplitude is 0. Okay, mathematically you can represent this expression of del of n is equal to its value is 1 for n is equal to 0 and its value is 0 for n is not equal to 0. In a graph, it is represented in this fashion. On x-axis, n is written, on y-axis, del of n is written. When del of n is equal to 1 at n is equal to 0. Okay, remember, and all other points like example 1, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3, only dots are shown over there because their value is 0. That is for n is not equal to 0. Okay, means del of n is equal to 0 for n is not equal to 0. Okay, now here this is about the definition of a impulse signal. Now in terms of discrete time signal, you can write this sequence in this fashion. Del of n is equal to curly brace dot 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 0 comma 0 comma 0 comma 1 comma 0 comma 0 comma 0 dot dot dot. Here arrow mark is given over the one only. Okay, it is a origin point. You can write this sequence in finite form as a del of n is equal to 1. Okay, and the above form is an infinite form. Okay, so this is about the unit impulse signal. Now unit step signal. Now the unit step signal is a step signal. It is denoted by u of n. Its value is unity, means 1 for all positive values of n. That means its value is 1 for n is greater than or equal to 0, and in another cases of n, its value is always 0. So mathematically you can write u of n is equal to 1 for n is greater than or equal to 0, and u of n is equal to 0 for n less than 0. Okay, so here by graph you can draw it in the fashion. Okay, a graph is shown in the slide like this. On x-axis n is written, and on y-axis there is a u of n. Okay, so here u of n will be 1 for n is equal to 0. So at 0 point its amplitude is 1. Similarly, when value of n is equal to 1, we will get value of u of n as a 1. Okay, again it is written like this. Okay, so all the times in right hand side its value u of n is 1, and when u of n is equal to 0 for n is less than 0, means for n is equal to minus 1 its value will be 0. When n is equal to minus 2 its value is its value is 0 again. Okay, so that's why minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 points are marked as dot. Okay, now in discrete time signal you can write u of n is equal to curly brace 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma dot 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 curly brace ends. Arrow mark is drawn below over first one. Okay, so it says it is an origin point. Now third signal is unit ramp signal. A unit ramp signal is denoted by ur of n. Its value increases linearly with samples of n. Mathematically, it is defined as ur of n is equal to n for n is greater than or equal to 0. ur of n is equal to 0 for n less than 0. Okay. In graph, it is drawn. You can read this graph as a, now in x-axis n is written, and on y-axis ur of n is written. Okay, so here when n is equal to 0, ur of n is equal to 0 because its n value is represented as ur of n. Similarly, when n is equal to 1, again ur of n is equal to 1. So it is marked over the graph. Okay. So one by one, all values are marked as n increases. Means ur of n will be 0 at 0, ur of n will be 1 at 1, ur of n will be 2 at 2, ur of n will be 3 at 3, ur of n will be 4 at 4, and so on. So here you can write this graph in discrete time sequence as a ur of n is equal to curly brace 0 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 dot 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 curly brace ends. Okay, so here 0 is marked as arrowhead. It is representing as a origin point. Now the fourth one, signal, real exponent signal. Now the real exponent signal is expressed as x of n is equal to a raised to n. Okay, so here a is a real constant. If a is a complex number, then x of n will be written as x of n is equal to r into e raised to j into theta. Theta is denoting as a phase. Now, depending upon the value of theta, we will have different cases. Now here we go through it one by one. Now here we are considering two cases. Okay, this real exponent signal will be defined by two cases as a increasing exponential signal. In increasing exponential signal, the value of a is greater than 1. Similarly, in terms of decreasing exponential signal, the value of a is lies between 0 to 1. Okay, means 0 is less than a less than 1. The graph of increasing exponential signal and decreasing exponential signal are shown in the diagram in the slide. Okay, now mathematically you can write and you can read in this fashion: exponential signal x of n is equal to a raised to n. Okay, here a raised to n will be present when n is greater than or equal to 0. X of n is equal to 0 when n is less than 0. Now here, to prove this real exponential signal, we go through it through cases. Now we consider the increasing exponential signal, means when a is greater than 1. Now case 1 is when a is greater than 1. Now here we consider x of n is equal to a raised to n. So value of a is 3. Now we find out the value of x of n for value of different for different values of n. We consider the value of n will be varying between -3 to 3. Means when n is equal to -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now n is represented on x-axis and x of n is represented on y-axis. Now we consider when n is equal to 0. So when you put the value of n is equal to 0, you will find x of 0 is equal to a raised to 0, means 3 raised to 0. 3 raised to 0 is nothing but 1. Okay, getting this? Now when you put n is equal to 1, then x of 1 is equal to 3 raised to 1. 3 raised to 1 is nothing but 3. So 3 is marked on the graph. Similarly, when n is equal to 2, x of 2 is equal to 3 raised to 2. 3 raised to 2 is nothing but 3 square. Its square is 9. 9 is marked over the 2. Similarly, when n is equal to 3, x of 3 is equal to 3 cube. When n is equal to 3, it is marked as a 27. So you can plot the increasing exponent signal from 1 to 27. And again, if you go for negative value of n, means when n is equal to minus 1, okay, so x of minus 1 is equal to 3 raised to minus 1. 3 raised to minus 1 means 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is plotted over the minus 1. Similarly, the minus 2 means x of n is equal to minus 2, x of minus 2 is equal to 3 raised to minus 2, 1 upon 3 square, it is 1 by 9. Okay, so in this fashion, you can able to draw the real rising exponential signal. Okay, hope you got this rising exponential signal. While watching, while listening, you can able to write all these points whatever I am reading. Okay, whatever I am telling you, you can write it in your notebook, then you can only understand, otherwise you cannot understand. Okay, now next one point, we consider the second one case. Now second case is when a is less than a, sorry, when 0 is less than a less than 1. Now again we are considering here x of n is equal to a raised to n. Now the value of a is 1 by 3. Now we consider again the value of n will be varying between minus 3 to 3. We put when n is equal to minus 3. When you put n is equal to minus 3, x of minus 3 is equal to, you can write x of minus 3 is equal to 1 by 3 raised to minus 3. When you solve it 1 by 3 raised to minus 3, you will get 27. So 27 is marked over the x of minus 3. Similarly, x of minus 2, n is equal to minus 2. So x of minus 2 is equal to 1 by 3 raised to minus 2. So it is 9. So over minus 2, 9 is marked, and so on all this value you can plot it one by one. Okay, so finally you will get decreasing or decaying exponent signal. Have you plotted all this graph? So go through it and plot it one by one, calculate it side by side. Okay, then you can able to understand it. Otherwise you cannot understand. Okay. Now, next one signal is discrete time sinusoidal signal. Now, this is a sinusoidal signal, but this signal is shown in discrete time representation. So that's why it is expressed as x of n is equal to a cos omega 0 n plus theta, or you can say x of n is equal to a sine omega 0 n plus theta. Now here the value of n is represented. The value of n is lying between minus infinity to infinity. Okay, in both cases it is represented between minus infinity to infinity. Now here omega 0 is represented as frequency in radian per sample. Theta is represented in phase in radians. And here f0 is written as a f0 is equal to omega 0 upon 2 pi. It is a frequency in cycles per sample. Now, the discrete time sinusoidal signal is represented as, in terms of cosine, it is shown in first figure, and in terms of sinusoidal signal, it is represented in second one figure. Okay, and as an example of discrete time signal represented by a expression, that is x of n is equal to a cos in bracket pi by 6 into n plus pi by 3, when the omega 0 is pi by 6 and theta is equal to pi by 3. Okay, this is about the example of discrete time sinusoidal signal, but for understanding of discrete time signal, you understood the slide. Okay, now the next one signal is discrete time complex exponential signal. Now here already we learn about the exponential signal, but it was a real exponent signal. Now we will talk about the complex exponent signal. Now the complex exponent signal is defined as x of n is equal to a raised to n into e raised to j omega 0 n plus theta. Okay. Now here the e raised to j theta expression is solved as a raised to n in bracket cos omega 0 n plus theta plus j sine omega 0 n plus theta. Now we solve the bracket. So you will get a raised to n cos omega 0 n plus theta plus j a raised to n sine omega 0 n plus theta. Now we separate the real as well as imaginary term. We mark a real term as a xr of n and we mark a imaginary term as a j xi of n. So xr of n is real part of x of n. We write as a raised to n cos in bracket omega 0 n plus theta, and imaginary part of x of n is written as a raised to n sine omega 0 n plus theta. Now here you can find two graphs. In these two graphs, two cases are shown when a is greater than 1 and when a is lies between 0 to 1. Okay, so here this graph is shown for real part of complex exponential signal. Okay, so here real part of complex exponential signal is written like this: xr of n is equal to a raised to n cos of omega 0 n. Here in first graph it is represented by value of a is lies between 0 to 1, and in another graph the value of a is written as a is greater than 1. Now the last one point is imaginary part of complex exponential signal. Now the imaginary part of complex exponential signal is shown in this slide. Okay, here the value of a is greater than 1 and value of a is lies between 0 to 1 is considered. So first graph is show value of a is lies between 0 to 1, and here the imaginary part is xi of n is equal to a raised to n sine omega 0 n. Okay, the graph will be looks like this, and when the value of a is greater than 1, the graph will be looks like in this way. Okay, now this is about the discrete time signal and its representation. Now for this time I am stop.